Hi all, I'm Sandeep Kenkre. Today, let's talk about the success story nobody's telling you. Not the filtered version on social media, nor your uncle's version at family dinners. The real one. You know that moment when someone says success isn't about money or luxury? Why do they always say it while staring at their neighbor's new car? People tell us two things about success that just aren't true. First, they say expensive things mean you're successful, which is a lie. Then they say money doesn't matter at all, which is an even bigger lie, because try telling that to someone who can't pay their bills. Both are wrong, one just sounds nicer. But here's what they're not telling you. True success is that quiet certainty in your chest when you're doing what matters to you. It could be stepping onto the stage for your Bharatanatyam Arangetram years after the so-called right age. It might be finally owning that bike you've been watching on YouTube since a decade or more. Or perhaps it's simply graduating later than others, but with your head held high. So tell me, what's that one thing that makes your heart beat differently? Hold that thought. We are going deeper. There are stories we need to rewrite, like the myth that financial struggle means laziness, or that dreams come with expiration dates. I know a man who runs a small grocery store. His store isn't fancy or Instagram perfect, but he sleeps peacefully at night. I also know a top executive who wears expensive designer watches. However, those watches can't hide his stress in the eyes. Because one day, when you're in a hospital bed, no one will ask you for your business card or your LinkedIn profile. However, God will ask you one simple question. Did you live your version of life? Jack Ma once shared something profound. If you want happiness, define success on your own terms. Not your parents' terms, not your neighbor's terms, just yours. Now let's go over a couple of examples. The woman who starts painting at 5 a.m. not for galleries, but because her soul needs to create. The man who bought his dream sports bike at 55 despite the age-appropriate comments. What did they all understand? This isn't about proving others wrong. It's about proving to myself I can still honor my dreams. Maya Angelou said it best. Success is liking yourself, what you do and how you do it. Not tolerating, not enduring, just liking. Let's dismantle the biggest lie. People tell that financial security and personal happiness can't exist together. That you must choose between money and joy. That wanting time for family means you lack ambition. But this is a false choice life never actually demands. I remember a conversation with a garage owner that changed everything. My children won't measure their childhood by cars I didn't own, but by the Sunday mornings we spent cycling together, by the afternoons laughing in the park. That stays with me. It's past midnight as I record this. That's only after I finished helping my little one fall asleep. And I realized, real success isn't about what you sacrifice, but what you leave behind in people's hearts. Work hard, chase those dreams, but don't let your ambition rob those stupid jokes with your siblings and cousins, or those lazy Sundays with your friends who feel more like a family. Be the kind of a person who kills at work, but saves their best self for the people who matter. Here's the hard truth. You'll always get another chance to work late, but you won't get another chance to be there when your best friend needs you, or to watch your kids slip their tiny hands into yours one last time before they're too grown. Opportunities circle back. People don't. You won't even realize when it happens for the last time. That final laugh, that last hug before everything changes, that ordinary day with your best friend that turns out to be a goodbye. For some, success is financial security, and that's totally valid. Maybe you didn't start saving at 30 like those finance gurus told you to. That's okay. If you start at 40, you can still build serious security. Start at 50, there is some time to create something meaningful. The only true failure is never starting at all. But I'll share what haunts me, and yet we postpone living. We tell ourselves, after this promotion, after I hit my savings goal, but one day you'll wake up and realize life was never a destination to reach. It was the coffee shared with your father on the balcony, the 10-minute you spent dancing in the kitchen with your toddler, the wasted afternoon reading a book just because it made you happy. And Steve Jobs in his final days admitted, all the wealth and recognition I chased, it means nothing now. So here's what I want you to know. Your success should feel more like coming home. Maybe it's that first undisturbed sip of coffee at dawn. Maybe it's finally going on that vacation which you have postponed since years. Or perhaps it's simply transferring that first 500 rupees to a savings account today. Not because it's impressive, but because it's honest. So tell me, what does your version of success look like? And if anyone suggests it's too small, remember, their approval doesn't pay your rent or warm your nights. This is your life. Your definition matters. If this resonates with you, do me a kindness. Share it with one person who needs to hear this. Then go live your version of success at your pace, in your way. Not for the audience, but for the only person who's with you from first breath to the last. Yourself. I leave you with Avicii's words that changed how I live. One day, you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you'll remember.